Hey people, it's that time again for another video of the week. Going to be talking about a demo I've been playing a little bit of called Dead Underworld. I was actually given a key for this game about a couple of days, if not a week ago, and the developers wanted me to check it out, give an honest opinion about it. So let's go ahead and talk about what Dead Underworld is. When you start the game off, you have your Seeker, and there's about 14 different ones. I know I've unlocked 3 so far, or 2 rather. You start off with Rookie, then you get Random, and then I think the other one is like a Stalker or Strider. You have different difficulty modes that you can get from reaching the hub 3 times or inflict 5,000 damage, and then they unlock later. The other 2 are unlockable, I think, in the main game, not so much the demo. You have 3 different factions besides the Freeman faction, that is the default. You have different difficulty modes that are easy, normal, and hard. You also have the different UI choices on the top right side and left side of the screen. Right side has supplies, or rather currency, alloy, supplies, and soul coins. And then you have some other menus for centering the screen, checking the factions, and some other things there. You have the map number, you have radiation for whatever radiation you're kind of going through, and then the amount of people that you're pissing off. You have other inventory and like stash type of upgrades that you can get. You can also get resistance to radiation, heal more, and then being able to upgrade your own character that I have Dej AF right now. And you could pick up other Seekers to be inside your party. As far as I'm aware, you can only have 2 in the demo, but I've never really had enough money to get more than that. And if I had the option to, it wouldn't give me the option to hire them, but so much fight them instead. And they are difficult. There's different ones that have like different difficulties. You have easy, normal, hard, and very hard. And they'll tell you the different types of red coloring, like if it's dark red, don't bother fighting it. If it's light red, it's going to be hard. If it's green, it's going to be normal, and so on. When getting into the game, there's this exploration mode to where you're on this map and you're walking around. There's different things you could pick up and choose from. There's berries, there's abandoned camps, there's shrines, there is even stores that you could buy stuff from. And when you're done with all the movement, it shows this thing called the rest option. There's different things you could choose. You can use Constitution, Strength, Agility, Intelligence, and Charisma. Well, Charisma gets your spirit back, meaning that the orange bar you see there will go up and probably gives you better options to choose from later. While you have Constitution that gives you like health increase, or you have Agility that gives you like a cover or block mechanic, maybe even evasion. And then you have Strength that gives you more damage from melee weapons. On here, you also have enemies you could fight. You could choose to fight grunts, iron wolves, or even some of the harder bosses, because in order to complete the level and go to another area, you have to beat this like boss that's currently watching over this watchtower or portal that won't allow you to leave. When you play the game itself for combat, you have different items on your actual selector that you could play. I have a tomahawk, I have something called a grinder that's a melee weapon that saws people in half, and then you can get new weapons that you could shoot later. And there's the different ranges. You have long, medium, and melee. A lot of the weapons that you do acquire have their own different types of ranges, and if you highlight above them or hover above the weapon itself, it will tell you medium, long, or even melee. The grinder itself is melee only, while the junk carbine, LMG, and submachine guns are medium or long, which sometimes you do get crits if you have the effective weapons to do it. For example, if I'm able to go up against an Iron Fang, I use Rally and I get marked on them, I can instantly take them down with maybe a shotgun or even an SMG. That being said, when your character is done leveling up, you can get a different increase of Constitution, Charisma, Intelligence, or something else, and it will tell you the effects that you get from that specific level up, such as increased melee damage, range damage, or even loot awareness, or being able to see where the enemy is farther away. The other thing I forgot to mention when it comes down to this game is that there's a demo that will be coming out for everybody February 7th, 2025, if I didn't say it earlier. It's also made by Man Machina, I think it is. MANMACHINA. And I think it's a single developer, I'm not entirely sure. But the synopsis for Dead Underworld is a single-player, dungeon-diving, turn-based roguelike set in a fantastical realm of eternal conflict. Gather resources and strengthen your party to endure a harsh world brimming with dangers. Engage in swift, punishing battles where every decision counts. Should a party member fall, recruit a new fellow seeker to continue your quest, meaning that you'll always find somebody stronger than the original person you had before, even though sometimes you might level them up a bunch, and then all of a sudden they get one shot by like a guy using a piece of wood with a bit of string and some metal on the top of it. But anyway, that's just me. When it comes down to the game itself, I mean, it grew on me the more I kept playing it, trying to understand it, reading a lot of the different weapons you get, some other items you can get like shield and body armor that does help for reducing damage that's either far away or even dealing with people that are trying to come after you with a spear or a knife. There's melee weapons in the game besides the bottom that you can choose for unarmed combat. There's rallying, blocking, escaping, and those are just the other options you can choose while you're in combat. With I think the last one being cover, which reduces the amount of damage you take by either 25 or 50%. Every time I've been attacked by somebody using a shotgun, they've either one-shot me when I had no armor, or they did almost no damage. And when you do cover, it does save you quite a bit. And if you have multiple people in your party, like 2, you could switch them out by using the swap option. Another game that kind of reminded me of this a little bit, not so much in the same setting, but almost similar in terms of like RPG mechanics, was another game I picked up called Stories From the Outbreak, which was a post-apocalyptic game with zombies, except this one is not so much with zombies, it is just other scavengers and even like mutants and monsters that grew up from these post-apocalyptic events going on in their world. And I mean, they do talk about it being pretty devastating. There are some enemies that become very difficult later on if you don't have high strength or high damage for ranged weapons, such as the junk carbine. And there are other weapons that actually, when you're done using them, you just throw them away. And then there are other weapons that you can keep as long as you have the actual alloys to use them. Like I said earlier, the different currency, you have alloys that allow you to use ammunition to fire at other people, and if you don't have them at all, then you can't use the guns. Same thing with supplies. You could rest, but that doesn't mean you're going to gain your health back or be able to get the additional bonuses of Constitution and Charisma to keep your party healthy and ready to go for another fight. And this grew on me more and more and more the more I kept messing around with the RPG mechanics. That being said, I did see the game doesn't have a whole lot of like advertisement going on. Normally when you see some of these games that they would be like big people getting on doing a video for it, or going in the comments section and having a bunch of people ask in the discussions random questions such as how long is it going to be, what's the price point, is there going to be any more stuff added to the main game, is it going to be workable on my PC, how big is the download, all that type of crap. But I really didn't care that much because, I mean, it worked on my PC and I didn't have much issues with crashing or really big amounts of download, since the game's download is only like 1 gig, if not that. But before the end of the video, this is what I wanted to show off because, like I said, I am liking it the more I play it, and I can't wait to see what more stuff they do for the actual beta and for people to try it out. I don't know the price point for the game. I don't know anything in terms of when the main game will come out, other than the demo being February 7th, 2025, and that will be for when people can try it out and see what they think about it. But like I said, if you want to try the game, it's February 7th of this year, so that everybody can try the demo out, and we'll see what they do for anything more released of new weapons, new items, new armor, new characters. We'll just have to see as time goes on. But anyway, I've been One Up Punch, and this has been the Dead Underworld video talking about the demo itself and the playtest, and what I thought about it with some little bit amount of impressions. I'm working on some other games too. Still waiting for some early access development to come out that I haven't seen very much of. I've been wanting to do some card games more. I did Nitro Kid earlier. I want to talk about Draft of Darkness, but it's taking a little bit more time than usual. And I also seen that Chrono Arc had a big update with a new boss called the Inquisitor that I want to talk about that as well. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.